Hello all, my name is Abdul Rahman and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another machine learning project video. In this video, we are going to do the project of distance measurement using OpenCV in Python. So up to this point guys, we have done a lot of machine learning projects like car detection, face detection, body detection, car number plate detection, speech recognition project in the machine learning. So we use OpenCV in these projects, but in some of them we didn't use it. And we also used hair cascade file, right? So in this video we don't need that type of file. And in some videos we use the cafe model file, proto.txt files like that. But in this video I'm going to just use two libraries. The first one is OpenCV and the second is Numpy. Now our pattern is like how it's going to detect the measurement from where to where. So for example that you are seeing here, wherever I have kept my cursor here right now that you are seeing from there to my hand till here, okay. So here my hand is moving and then it's going to detect that how much measurement, okay, from my cursor to the hand till I kept, what's the distance between the cursor and my hand, then it's going to print the distance, right? So it's not going to count the distance if I keep it like this. So my hand should be moving, or if it is the object, then it's also right. So this is how our pattern is. So let's go ahead and get started. And in this video, I am going to use the VS Code. So for doing that, I have already installed the VS Code on my computer, and just we are going to create a file, and then in that one we are going to write the code. Okay, so for doing that, I am going to small the screen and let's create a file known as distance.py. Okay, and in this file here I am going to import the OpenCV. So for doing that I am going to open the terminal of the VS Code and just type pip install OpenCV-Python. Okay, and then it's going to run it. But if you are on the Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, as we know that how to install it, type here exclamation mark, then type it to install OpenCV Python. Now we are going to use one more module as I said, and that is Numpy. So let's install pip install Numpy. We install Numpy and it's also installing. Now if you want to install this on the Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, then you have to type the exclamation mark, then type it install Numpy. It's going to work something like that. Now in the file, I'm going to import the CV2. So the reason that I'm importing CV2 here is, so it's actually OpenCV, but they have given their name as CV2, OpenCV2. Now below this, let's import Numpy as NP. I'm going to give. So the reason that I'm giving here as NP because I can just give here the Numpy, import Numpy, but the reason that I'm doing is each and for example, everywhere I have to give something like numpy.numpy.numpy. I have to do. So the reason that I am not going to do for the CV2 is because it has just 3 characters, CV2. So for the numpy we have to type, so that's why we have given the NP. Okay, so it's going to work like that. Now here guys, we have to capture the video. So for capturing, I am going to give the video, or let's give it a capture, and it's going to be equal to CV2 dot video capture, and then in the brackets. So here I am going to test with two things. The first one is with the video, like object detection with the video, and then I am going to do the on the live like myself. Okay, so let's choose for the 0 itself, and then or let's choose here a video where I will be giving video dot mp4. So I have not downloaded this video, but I'm going to download it after some time, and I'm going to give the video like this. Now here let's give the VID, and it's going to be equal to, so here we are going to pass 2 variables, and it's going to be equal to cv2.flip. So here we are going to flip this one dot flip, and then in the brackets I am going to, sorry, here the mistake that I have done is I have to give something like cap dot, I have to read this video. Okay, so read the video. Okay, now the thing that I have given is I have created a variable known as cap, and in that one I am saying that capture this video, and then I am saying that read this video in these variables. Okay, now coming down here, I am going to create a new variable known as previous, and it's going to be equal to cv2.flip. I have to give here, but here you are thinking that why I have created this variable. So this is I have to give a new, but I have treated as previous also here also. Okay. Now it's going to work. So I'm calling the same variable here and saying that cv2.flip. I'm flipping this one, and then in the brackets I am going to call this previous again, this previous. Okay, now this is going to be the comma 1. Okay, I am going to give now comma this, below this I have to add a new thing, new variable known as video new dot capture. Okay, now here we have to create these 4 variables totally. So we have creating this one video and then we are calling this previous and we are reading that file. Okay, now here the case is completed. Now here we are creating a new variable known as video, we are calling this one, and then we are calling it another thing known as new. Okay, so now here I have to give below this one new is again a new thing, and then in the brackets cv2 dot flip I have to give, and then in the brackets flip is there, but in the brackets here I have to add here this previous, but here the mistake is this one should be equal to, and at the end of the cv2 dot flip I am going to give the new comma 1. Okay, it's going to work. Now here we have completed these things. I am going to remove this out, but here it's going to be like this. Now here the thing is we have to use the while loop. Okay, so for using the while loop we are going to give something like while, and it's going to be equal while true, and we are going to give the semicolon. Let's see here, while if it is the true, and it's going to be the semicolon, and below this one I am going to give different, and then it's going to be equal to cv2 dot I am going to give the absolute difference. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this reason, like, so for example if I go down here and if I type into like a and then I am getting the abs, I am going to get the absolute difference also somewhere around here. So now I'm going to talk about the reason of this one, like where you have gain abs difference, absolute difference, and why it's used here. So let's talk about that later on. Let's use command new. I'm going to give. Now here whatever it is, we have to create a new variable. We are calling this variable as it is, and we are going to get cv2 dot abs difference. Not this one. We have to give the cvt color, and then in this cvt color we have to add here the difference, right? That we have created already. So guys, for doing that one, we have the cvt color, and we are calling this variable again, and that is difference. Okay, now beside the difference we have to use the cv2 dot, this method, like how to do. So this is going to be color bgr to gray, right? bgr to gray we are calling it. Now you are thinking that why I am calling this gray color, and this is because, as I said you before in the previous videos, like it's going to do the fast processing for the gray image. That's why I am using it like this. Now we have the BGR to gray. Now below this, it's going to work here, and BIFF, and again it's going to be equal to the CV2 dot blur. CV2 dot blur. Okay, and then it's going to be called it as DIFF, and comma I'm going to give the 5 comma 5. Okay, now here we have this one. Now I'm going to create one more variable, 2 more variables like video, and then I'm calling this video itself, and then I'm going to give something like trash. So for that, let's give video comma trash, and it's going to be equal to cv2 dot threshold we have to give, right? So for the threshold I have to give the threshold and difference we are calling it. So guys, this concept is really confusing, like we are creating a lot of variables, so that's why it's a little bit confusing here. Like first of all we have created a variable known as cap, so this is very important. Then we created a variable, and it's going to read the file again, it's going to create a variable, and it's going to flip that, and we created 2 variables, it's reading again, and then it's again flipping. Okay, now here we are using the while true, but here also it's a lot of confusion. So I'm going to explain it after some time after writing this code. Now we have after this 10 I have to give like the numbers, the colors. Okay, so this is going to be 255 comma cv2 dot trash binary I have to give. Now here I'm going to create 2 more variables. So guys, this code is filled with just variables. Okay, so like for example, the reason that we are creating here these variables is, so I am going to comment this out, all of this one. Now the thing that I have to do here is, like for example, if I create a video, video, and then in the brackets, if it is equal to, then I have to type something like numpy dot array or whatever it is. Then I have to type here all of the stuff, and I have to multiply that or whatever it is, and then I have to create a new variable about that, and in that one I have to give numpy array whatever it is. and then I have to use here this variable known as a. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. So that's why here we are using a lot of variables for not confusing. Okay, let's go at the very top of this page and remove this. Comment this out. Now here I'm going to create two more variables as I said you, and that is trash. Okay, and this is the trash variable I have created right now, and another is going to be the thrs. Okay, so this is going to be thrs or threh. Okay, now I'm going to create this different because this is a variable. So this is the trash that I'm calling here, calling from here. Okay, so that's why I'm going to give the cv2 dot dilate, and then I'm going to give the trash, and comma this I'm going to use the none, and again I'm going to give the 3, and in the end we are calling this trash variable again, and then in that one we are storing one more thing, and that is cv2 dot erode. Okay, and then I'm going to give the trash again, and then beside this I'm going to give numpy dot once, and then in the brackets here we are getting for the numpy is np, sorry, then we have done the mistake of npd. Now it's going to work right now. So here we have the np dot once, and it's going to be 4 comma 4. So for that I'm going to create one more variable, and that is 4 comma 4, and here we have these variables. Now beside this one I'm going to give, now it's going to work. Here we have the threshold and all the stuff. Now the question comes here is why you have used dilate and erode. So these two new functions, and we have another thing known as absolute difference. So why it is? So first of all I'm going to talk about this one, then this one, then this one. Now what is ABS DIFF in Python? Absolute difference in Python, which helps in finding the absolute difference between the pixels of the two images to image arrays. By using this, we will be able to extract just the pixels of the objects are moving. So that's why here we are using the ABS. Now you may be thinking that what is dilate that we have used here, and the use of this is dilation of an image is the process or by the which the object area in the image is increased. The process is used to accurate the features in the image. So if something went wrong, then it's going to accurate that. It increases the white region in the image, or the size of this foreground object increases. Okay, now we know these things, that what is erode here. So erode method is just used to perform erosion of the image. The basic idea of erosion is just to like the soil erosion only, but it erodes the boundaries of the foreground object. Always try to keep the foreground in white. Okay, so it's normally performed on the binary images. That's why these things are used here. Now coming back to our code here, we have to add here some more variables, and that is going to be counter, and then it's going to be equal to, it's going to be comma vid, we are calling that again, and it's going to be equal to cv2 dot find counters. Here we have to find the counters, right? So we have to search for this counters. So finding the counters is, we have to use this word, okay, module, whatever. Now coming back to this one, trash, I'm going to call it, and then comma cv2 dot return 3. Okay, now let's coming back to here, we have cv2 dot chain approx. We have used that, right? So chain approx none is not I'm going to use. It should be simple, so that's why we have used this one. Now we are calling the two things. The first one is counter and the other is vid. Okay, now below this I'm going to add the cv2 dot, we are calling this circle. Okay, now this is going to be circle, and then we are giving something like previous, we are calling the above variable, and then in the brackets we have to use the dimension. Okay, 200. Now comma this, we have to use the 5, and then here the main thing is we are going to use the colors 0, 255. Okay, now here I am going to give the -1 this is. Now here this is a color code like RGB, red, green and blue, or it's going to be in a different manner, whatever it is. Now let's use here the for loop. So for the for loop we have to use something like for counters, and then it's going to be in the counter. I have created a variable, right? Yes. Okay, now here we are not giving anything in the brackets like range or whatever it is. Now let's use if cv2 dot the counter area, counter or area, and then if it is in the area, then I'm going to call this counters, and then I'm going to be like this, and then I'm going to give here a value. Okay, so before giving that value, we are saying that if it is in the counter area, and then we are saying that counters. Okay, if it is cv2 dot whatever it is greater than, if it is greater than the number that I am giving like 3 here. Okay, so if it is greater than this number, then we have to write here some of the conditions, right? So for doing these conditions, we have these like 1 slash 1,000, 10,000, 30,000 numbers. Okay, now I am going to give in the brackets. So for the brackets, I have to use the x comma y comma w comma h, w comma h. Now this is the reason that I am using here like x comma y comma w comma h is because here we have to use the number, here we have to use the dimensions. Okay, like for example, I am going to comment this out. Okay, let's say that we have this is a rectangle. Okay, now here I am going to keep that over, and I am going to give this one like this one. Here also same thing. Now I am going to use this one again, and this is going to be till here, right? Okay, now let's tab it again till here very much. I am also going to use it here, here also. Okay, now coming down here, we have given this one like this. Now let's say this is a rectangle that I have created here. Now for that I have to, let's say x plus y like this. Okay, x plus y, or yeah, we can give here something like this also. Okay, now we can call it this place as w, and this can be as the h. So this is why we are giving this here like this. Coming back here again, now here we have to create a variable. We are creating it like this, right? So for creating that variable, I'm going to give something like cv2 dot bound rectangles. So bound rectangle, and then I'm going to give the contours. Now here below this one, I'm going to give x1 comma x2. So for doing that, x1 comma y1, okay. So y1 I have to, x2 is in that. Now x1 comma x1, and comma this one I'm going to create a variable as rad, and it's going to be equal to cv2 dot min, and it should be contours. Okay, now here at the end of it, x1 is going to be equal to int. I have to give, this is an integer, I am defining it, and then this is the x1, I am calling it again, and this is the y1, and the y1 is going to be equal to, this is also int, and then in the brackets I am going to give the y1. Okay, now here I am going to paste a block of code, and the whole code is around 50, less than or more than 50, around 50 lines of code. Okay, now here I pasted a block of code, right? Now it's going to be pretty much big. So this is the pretty much big, right? So I'm going to increase it some more, like, so there I have done a mistake, and that is, this is not one line of code. Okay, so this is the more than 2-3 lines, it's like that. So I'm going to remove this one. Okay, and then in the second line I'm going to put the text, and then it's going to end somewhere around in the rectangle. cv2 dot rectangle previous, and here this is also ending cv2 dot circle. Okay, now guys, this is ending here, right? We have all of the things. So the reason that I have pasted all of this code is, so here you have to type all of the things like cv2 dot line, this previous, this thing, and this thing. Then it's going to take a lot of time, so I don't want to waste the line. Okay, now here the rectangle we are calling circle, this put text. So there is the reason that we are giving here rectangle and circle is here we are detecting them, right? That's why we are giving like this. Now everything is going to work here fine right now. Now here we have to add one more block of code. Like for example, cv2 dot I am show image show, that is okay. So we have to give the name of the frame. Like when I run this code, it's going to open a frame, you know that, and then at the name of the frame is going to something like distance detector, something like that. So for that, cv2 dot I am show image show, I'm saying. Now in this one, distance detector. Now here I'm going to call it as the previous number. Now it's going to work, but if I run it, let's check whether it's working or not. Let's wait for some time, and let's increase the size of this window. So here we are getting the error, and that is because here I have not written the whole code. So we have to write some more code, and then we are not going to get the errors. Okay. Now let's type in here. We have the CV2 distance detector. Now below this, I am going to add something like previous is equal to the new, and so later on I am changing this variable to the new. So I am saying that these two variables are same, and then I am calling this BID comma new. So the reason that I am giving here is because is that I can't give a new or previous because it's going to be confused for the computer, and that's why I have given equal to. So these both of them are equal. So I'm going to cap dot read, and then in the below this one I'm going to give the new. This is new, and it's going to be equal to cv2 dot flip. cv2 dot flip. We are using the same method that we have used up. Now new comma 1 we are giving sorry. Now here it's going to work, but here we have to give the wait key. So if the cv2 dot wait key, and then it's going to be the 1 I'm going to give, and if it is double equal to the 27, then it's going to be break. Now here I have done a mistake, tag it over here, and here I have not given the semicolon. That's why I'm getting the error. Now here all of them are going to work right now. Now here what the thing that I have to do here is I have to give the cap dot release, and then in the brackets I'm going to not give the brackets again, and you have to destroy all of the windows. This is the final code that I'm going to give. So cv2 dot des destroy all windows, and it's going to work here now. So we have written the break and all of the stuff. So this is going to come in the while loop itself, but here I have done a mistake, and that is here I have not given everything properly. From here I should have moved this, whatever it is. Now coming back, let's run it and let's check whether is it working here or not. So I'm checking this. No, sorry, I don't have any video, right? So I have to choose art from the place. Let's choose that as pixel videos, and here I have to type this into live and work inside view. This is the one, this is the one, and let's check it out. So now guys, I wanted to use this video, this one. Okay, now it's going to show me like this. Now I'm going to download these two videos, download it, free download it, and I'm going to get some option for that one. The first video is going to be something like the video and the machine learning projects distance detection video, and this is going to be video 1, and I wanted to download the lawyer one. Okay, now it's going to become here. Now I'm going to download this, free download it also. Now here I'm going to give it as the video 1, and it's going to download. Now here the thing that I want to do is I want to close this one, and I'm calling it as video.mp4, right? So something is looking different in my code here. So here the mistake, not the mistake, the mistake here. Let's start it here, and everything is going to work fine right now. Now for this one, I'm going to run it again, and let's check whether is it the output. How is the output coming? And this is the type of output that we are getting. But this is pretty much big. Now let's check with the another video. But here I am getting the error for the I am sure. So let's go to here, and then I'm going to run it again right now. It's going to open this one, and it's able to detect this, as you can see. So that was the indent mistake, that's why I was getting, and this screen is pretty much big, and my video is also still lagging that you are seeing. Now I'm going to do it live. I'm going to delete this, and I don't want to use these videos. Let's remove this one, and let's give it a 0. Now it's going to capture my own camera. Now run it, and it's going to work right now. It's taking some time, and the error that I'm getting here is around cvt.cvt color empty function. So I think that the reason that I'm getting this error is because here I'm using already a camera, right? Now I'm going to just record this one. So here we are getting the difference, cv2.cvt color, it's right. Now I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm just going to screen record, and then I'm going to show it right now. So guys, as you have saw the video clip which I played right now, is able to detect all of those kinds of stuff. Like with my hand, I have tested that with a Bluetooth speaker, with a glass of water, with a computer mouse, and I have tested that with myself also. So it's working very properly, but the problem that I'm facing here right now is that it's not able to detect the object when it is not moving. So the object should be continuously moving and then it's able to detect. Now the reason I have not done that on the live is because I was recording my video and I can't use my camera at two places. One is in the software of the recording from where I was recording, and another in the Python program where I have to detect the distance, right? So at the same time I can't use my camera. So that's why I have played that video clip. So anyhow guys, that's all for this video. I hope you liked and enjoyed watching this video, and the code that I have written will be given in the description below so that you can go there and copy the code. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in another tutorial. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye.